Welcome to my life. Miss Victory, nice to meet you. So, I've thought about it instead of just, coming online for random sewing videos. I want to do something more consistent, right? Something that I know that, okay, if at all I can't, do like, I can be sure that I'm going to show up daily, right? So, what to be doing is fashion design, like generating or not generating in that sense, but like sketching. It's just like an exercise to help sharpen your design skills better. Because what's a fashion designer that cannot design, right? So I've thought of the easiest way to make it work. I'm thinking just maybe random pictures, random references from maybe Pinterest, and then from there we're going to just flow, right? Come up with designs. So it's not something that I've thought of, right? Like it's not a design that I've already done or anything. So just to sharpen our design instincts, right? And skills, because the truth is the faster you can come up with design process is difficult. It's not as easy as many people say it, right? Most people just say, oh, design, make your own designs. Nobody tells you how difficult it is, right? Most times it does not make sense when you do something, especially when you are just starting out to design. So because many of your designs does not make sense, it's easy for you to discard it and say maybe this is not for me, let me just keep recreating, right? So this, I'll just be coming online to do this. At least I know I can show up consistently with this, right? So I just opened my Pinterest app, not app, right? The website, right? So I'm just going to click on any picture and just develop a design, right, from it. Some images are already catching my eye, but I don't know. Let's see. This is right. It's looking nice. So we'll just create something from it. It might be ashwabi, it might be bridal, you know. So the thing with fashion design is your inspiration might be from just a singular, element, a singular picture, a singular reference, right? It doesn't mean that you have to like have a lot, especially when you are designing a single piece now, not just maybe not like when you are designing a full collection. When you are designing a full collection, it will pay you to have a richer reference now, right? So, and this is one of the questions I've been getting a lot from my some of my students, one-on-one students. How do I become more creative? How do I mix designs? How do I come up with my own designs? I treated some of these things in the class, that one of the Bostia class that we did. So, but I just felt like, okay, coming online to think with me, design with me, it's not going to harm anybody, right? And it's just an aspect of fashion design. There are other aspects, right? There are other approach to fashion design. So this is just one. And this might also help you, maybe for instance your client sends you an inspo and they don't want you to recreate exactly, so they want to change something. So it's design process, right? So we're just going to click on any image and see how it goes. I've not done anything I'm going to do now before, so we're going to see. I will also use this to also sharpen my own design instinct. So on your own, you can. I'm saying if we do this every day, if you take it upon yourself to do it every day to test your design, sharpen your skills, believe me, a month, 2 months from now, you're not going to be the same designer. So let me look for any random picture. Okay. And we're not just going to be doing rough sketches, right? I want to do it in a way, something that we can design, we can actually make. So we're going to be thinking through the design together, right? So let's use this. I just clicked on this image right here. So let's just see how it goes with designing with this. So with this, I'm already imagining a kind of a dramatic dress, right? If you can see the texture, there's a texture to this, right? The body of this, the black base. So I would maybe want the dress to be a black dress, right? If we are working with this like the same way it is, we can redefine the design later. So you see I'm freestyling, I'm even using a pen here, right? So that you know I'm just thinking, you are thinking with me on paper. So we'll do the rough sketch first, then we can redefine it as we go. Please like the live so that you can share it to more people. So this is the image we are working with. Let me increase the brightness. So this is the image you are working with. So I can see a black dress. And then this, when I want to think on paper, I'm not drawing the full 9/8, right? I'm just trying to think about the design. So this is how I draw. And then for some of you that maybe you don't know how to draw, while you are perfecting your drawing skills, go and learn how to draw. Go on YouTube, right? Type how to draw a female fashion croquis, right? Female fashion croquis. It's called a croquis. Let me write it here. Right? Oh, you can't see it. Hello, ma. Croquis. So you can browse this female croquis, how to draw it. So you will see just that fashion drawing 9/8. So you can practice that, or you can also get ready. You can type on Pinterest. If you type on Pinterest, I would say I design, not like maybe it's still fashion illustration, right? But this, I'm bothered about the design aspect here. Yes. So how I come up with my own designs, how I develop my own designs. This is just one of the ways, right? So here I'm not working with any inspiration. I'm just using a random image to develop the design. So you can go online, search for croquis, how to draw it, right? And perfect that, or you print out. This is like an A4 sheet. So you can also print out already, if you type on Pinterest now, croquis, you're going to see different ones. So anyone you want, you can print it out, make photocopies, and start your design from there. So I'm just trying to draw out the base of the dress. So I know the material will be made with either I think I'll work with velvet. I like the fall material here, the fall texture here, but for this dress, I think I might want to work with what's it called? With velvet. So think something like this. Then this part of the design is giving a skirt, right? I'll keep this curve. Right? So from that curve, I'm taking this element now as the skirt part, right? This element, I'm using it to represent the skirt part. So I want to have that design like this. So I'll make this part a bit shorter than that side, just to, you know, maintain that design. I also do not want it to stand sharply as this, so it might, you know, so have it, like this. So I'm just trying to draw the form round. So I've kind of interpreted this shape right into this. So remember, everything we are doing, we are picking the reference from this random picture on Pinterest. So I have this. So basically just the skirt kind of design that I have now, right? So we'll think in time of construction later, but right now it's just to pick some of the elements, right, that I think I like. And now I like the eye detail here. The eye. So it kind of also resembles the shape of a cup, right? The shape of a bra cup. So I'm going to make this dress a cupped corset design. Pardon me, I'm using pen, so I'm trying to be okay. So the eye now has inspired, the shape of the upper part, which is like a cupped corset, right? So I'm picking out, what I'm doing now is I'm designing the form. What I'm doing now, right? I'm designing the form. So now from the form, from the shape, I've used this part to represent the skirt design. I've used the eye to represent the shape of the bra cup. Now, I think I like this. I think I want this part to, it's flowing with the eye, and kind of, because you have this white here, it's highlighting this eye. So maybe I just want to keep a shape. I want to give a shape here, like this. We will do the design later, right? So it means from this part here, from this part this way to the main body is our black velvet. We agreed are using black velvet, right? So I'm going to use maybe a marker now to bring out the black velvet part. I hope I still have black. Okay, this other part should work. So I'm just going to, it's fading off already. It's fading off already. I've used it. Let's just try. I think it will even help to create that kind of velvet. I think the the faded effect is even helping to give that velvet kind of. It's nice. So we just have this part now as the black aspects. Let me use the other side. Okay, this part is still better. Okay. So I'm just freestyling with it to give you that. So so we have black, the black velvet here, right? So this is the black velvet now. So let's just keep it at that. So now for the for this part, right? It's now up to you to decide, okay, since we are working with this design, right? This everything here as our inspiration. I should put water. Okay, well, I don't know. I feel this one is not water based. The marker, I don't know if it's water based. I'll try, sha. But I've been using it, so it don't reach to rest. But I think I like the effect it's giving the sketch in a way, right? So now that we have this, so we can decide how we want to, you know, blend the design of this part and this part together. So now, what other form? Now look at the shape of the beak. The shape of the beak here. I think I want to include it in the design. So I'm thinking on the sleeve, but I want it to be dramatic, right? We already have drama going on. Yeah, I understand. I will try it though if it will work. Yes, okay. Yeah, you said one and then we can have it on one hand, but I want it more dramatic. So I don't know if I take it up like this. Let me see. We already have a design going this way, right? We already have something going this way. So we can take something going the other way, right? We can have something, another element going this other way, or we can have it repeating too, right? We can have it repeating on this side too. So it's either we flow with this or we, go against it. We can do that. But let me see how I want to incorporate this. And we can have one going this way and one going that way. So either ways, whichever one can work. But remember, I'm also considering construction. Yeah, one hand with spiral and feathers. That you see, that's why design is broad. We can, from this one image, we can generate up to 100 designs, right? But I'm doing the design. I want to pick something that I know that I will like. Right? So that's why design is. But I'm looking at a way of incorporating it because of construction, and I also want it to look dramatic, right? So let me think for a moment. I just don't want it to be the usual. Yeah, perfect. I've gotten an idea. So what I want to do is I want to turn this beak because I like the way it's bending over here, right? I like the way it's bending over here. So it's giving me inspo for halter neck, right? So, but now it's going to be a dramatic kind of halter neck, right? It's not just going to rest on the shoulder. Do you get? So it will be coming out from the sides. This is just my design. It's just my idea, right? So when you want to do your own, you do it the way you want, right? So from here, I'm thinking of a dramatic. I like the curve, right? The curve here. So I think I want to, let me do it from on this side first. I like the curve this way, right, and this way. this way and this way. Okay. Now, because I'm just picking the form now, right? So, of course, it will connect at the back. Maybe I've not figured that out, but let's just go. So, how dramatic do I want this to be? Okay. I don't want it too much, but not bad. So when we come to the practical aspects, right, bringing it to life, we'll figure out what material we can use. But now I'm just picking the form, right? So I'm just picking the form. So we have the beak now inspiring this. So it can flow to the back, but I want to keep it dramatic like this. So it's going to stand on its own. So this is just the front. We have not designed the back to see how the whole design will flow. So we have 3 major elements here now. So we've used the eye, we've used the beak, so we have our form right here. So now, the next thing we want to do is to bring this old drama back into the dress. Of course, we're not just designing the dress alone, it's the complete look, right? So to kind of bring the design together, I'm thinking it to be paired with a dramatic fascinator, right? Something very dramatic but wide, like all those wide arts design, to kind of, so it's going to, I'm just illustrating, right? So all those kind of wide to kind of bring balance to this. I'm just designing, right? So this will be giving red carpet kind of something. So we're having this, right, flowing with this. Good evening, next quiz. Yes, the accessories. So there are a lot of things that can come in here. Right? Yes, it will give you that even look. So now we want to apply. Everything we have done so far is to design the form, right? I prefer you call it fashion design because we have tagged fashion illustration, because illustration sometimes does not necessarily, because I can illustrate a design that somebody has done before. Do you understand? Yes. So I can pick a design, a trendy design now, and do the fashion illustration. Do you get? So so this is I prefer we call it fashion design, even though we're kind of illustrating the design. Do you get? So that's what I mean. So we have designed the form now. So let's look at the form. Has to do with the silhouette, the shape, right? So now let's look at the, please like the live if you enjoy what we're doing. Okay, so now the next thing is, let's look at how we want to bring in the color. Into it. So we already have our black velvet on this part, right? And even though we took the inspo from the sleeve, right? Even though we took the inspo from the for the eye, for the cup area from the eye, right? I also want to create a cohesive design. Thank you, ma. The perfect girl. Thanks for joining. So even though we are already even though we're already designing, we have designed the form. Now let's just, apply color. Then after we can look at the way, we're going to do the design, the way we're bringing the design to life. So for the eye area, we have this part now. We have this, right? So let's see. I want to infuse this part, this white part, but at the same time, I don't want it to kind of, stand out too much at the same time. So I want to do a design, something that will kind of still flow together, right? So let's just see how it goes. So more like the beak and the eye, right, is flowing together. The beak and the white, this yellowy, what's it called? This whitish part is kind of flowing together, right? So let's see how we can incorporate that. So the beak here is highlighting this, and this is kind of flowing together to highlight the eye, right? So let's see how we incorporate that. So I have this part. Based on texture, what we have here is giving white sequence, or white sequence, white beads, right? So we can have it as maybe white sequence, so keep it as white, right? So but I might want to let it drop over this in a way. So we have the white sequence here. So I want to incorporate the red, right? The red will be flowing with, while replicating the design we have here on this part. Yeah, thank you, Jane Culture. So this part, I want to incorporate it here. So it means we are having, so the base of this dress will be constructed with black, right? The base will be constructed with black too. Let me see if I can, but let me just use the red to illustrate it. So we need, since we are using black velvet to do this, right? We are doing this with black velvet. So we will have the black velvet, already, at this base. So we can incorporate this red. This one too is already fading off. What's going on? So I'm going to kind of use as long as I understand the idea I'm trying to bring together. So when we want to do what's it called? When we want to analyze the construction, one thing with design is sometimes when you get to construction, some things can change. Some design elements can change, right? But it's good that you're conscious of it as you design, right? So we'll look at what we can use to achieve this effect, right? We'll look at what we can use to achieve it. Don't forget I said the base is black. So this red is coming on, Okay. So now, if we look at our reference image, so this part, is flowing with the bust area. But I don't want to draw out an actual eye. I don't want to draw out an actual eye, right, for the design. I don't want to use eye, but I want red on that cup area, right? So it's either we make the entire thing, red, or you know, I just want to bring in the color red on the bust area, but I don't want it too much. I don't want it, you know. So let's see. Let's see what I can do with it. Well, so far it's looking nice. So far it's looking nice. Please like the live, we are enjoying it. So far it's looking nice. This is our inspo. For those that are just joined, this is our reference image, right? We are just freestyling, designing from what we have. So let me see. I want to apply the red color on the eye area without it being funny, right? I want the whole design to blend properly. So let's see. When you are doing a bra cup, depending on the part, we have different. Okay. All right. We have different designs, right? Different shapes. We have the 2 parts, the 3 parts, 4 part cup. So I want to see how I'll bring this in. Okay, let's look at this, the tip of this design, the tip of this element here. We are going to discuss the construction later. Yes, the heart can be black, it can be, let's see how the design goes. In fact, we can even make the heart white. Do you understand? Because depending on what you want to pronounce, we have the beak and this area is white. So let's see how the design still flows together. So we have this, design at the tip of the feathers. So I'm thinking I kind of pick it as a singular element to design the bra cup. So I'm assuming is a 3-part cup, right? A 3-part cup. So it's kind of more like feather kind of, element. So I'm picking that for the cup area. Right, I don't know. So let's see how it goes. I've picked this feathery. I think I want it to cross over because it will be more projected than the feather. Don't worry, to look nice. Let's continue. So remember, it's avant-garde in a way, so it's not meant to look simple, right? So we have that. Then we apply the black to the remaining area. Let's see what it looks like. Remember, everything we are doing is from the inspo. Everything we are doing is from the inspo. I think I want to reduce the area of the red. Let's keep it small, so the black will have more. So when you are doing your own design, your decision is up to you, but it's just to sharpen your mind, right? Thank you, sis. Mola Elegance. Nice to meet you. Yeah, so I think it's looking nice now. That the red part is not too much. Yeah. So now, let's see, look at our reference image. So now we have this. we have this is coming out nice. So now let's look at this white area and the beak design. So I want to keep it white. I want to keep it white, but at the same time, let's see. I want to keep it white with this part because of this. I like the way this and this is popping, right? So for those that just joining, we are currently doing a fashion design exercise. We are trying to pick random image. Thank you. Yeah, it looks nice. So we are trying to pick random image. We are picking random image on Pinterest and designing from it just to sharpen our design skill, right? So it's just to sharpen, make us better designers, how to help us to, to reduce the time, thinking time when we're trying to come up with design, and just experiment. So for the big area now, everything we're doing is from here. So for the big area, I think I want to leave it white, but it's not pure white, remember. So it's not going to be pure white, right? Even this part, we are not putting pure white into this. Might be too, sharp a contrast. So let's see. Even here, it's not entirely pure white. It has this kind of iridescent, effect. I think I like. So if I want to construct this part now, I think I'll work with iridescent material. Do you know materials that are iridescent? They are transparent and they have, multiple color. It's not off-white, right? It's not off-white. If you look at this, you can see you see that multicolor kind of shine to it. So I'm going to pick a lightweight iridescent fabric. You can probably we'll browse it later, but I don't want to go off here. So that's what we're going to use for this part. And I think I will want to we are talking about construction now. Yeah, so we have put the color, but I just had to show you this part will be iridescent, right? But I want the part that has more pink. Our iridescent effect will have more pink than blue, right? So it will be kind of off-white, but it will be giving that color. So we have that. So now let's discuss construction details and everything. So we've established that we'll be using black velvet for this part, right? We either black velvet or foam. If I want it more dramatic, right, I'm going to pick foam material. But because of the work, what we'll be doing here, I think we can work with black velvet for this part. So let's pick. We're picking material now. So material or texture design now. So when you look at this image now, right? When we look at this dress, the drama and all is coming on this part. Though these colors are popping, but we want the kind of, is it called, what are we going to call it? Like the accent color, right? To be this iridescent effect. So instead of the white, so I think I want to flow these two. We can have a nude base here that blends with the body and then filled up with iridescent sequence too. But we might make it, when we are constructing, a lot of things can change. So instead of keeping a clean line here, we might make it blend in a bit. It's just design. So as you go, as you develop the design, when you're now doing maybe your fashion illustration, we can now take it up and see what it looks like. So now For the material now, let me see if I can do something with that a decent effect. So let's see. I have gray. But I don't want something too deep. Very light gray. Okay, I just want to go in with light gray. Light gray here too. Then let's add our touch of pink. Do you have a class where it is how to draft? Yes, I do. Please just send me a message. I'll respond after the class. I have online class for Bostia, for corsets. I did the class on Zoom, so the Zoom recording is available. So I'm just adding. I don't want it too much. This pink, I've not really used it, so it's actually showing off. Oh, we've done the class, but the recording is available and is very, very detailed. But send me a message if you are thinking of something more practical. Like, let's talk. Let me know how we can. I'm just trying to, represent that multicolor iridescent effect. So I think I was able to do it. So now let's discuss construction. Please send me a message. Since it's the recording. So if you even check my page, you see flyers from the class. But because it's pre-recorded video, so I'll know how. But the class is very, very detailed. So please just send me a message. I don't want to talk about class. Bostia class when we're doing fashion illustration. So if you have any question, if you want to learn anything from me, you can just send me a message. We'll talk. So we have this. So the next thing we want to discuss is construction now, the details, right? So for this part, there's no rocket science. We have the velvet, but we want to keep it clean as possible, right? For the construction. So we're probably going to structure with make it. But one thing with velvet, for me, especially if I'm going to make this design, I would still want the softness and the lushness of the velvet. So I'm going to use couture technique to strengthen the fabric but not stiffen it. So I'm not going to be using any gum. I'm not going to be using hemming gum or anything like that. So I'll just structure this properly. Then for this part, I have two options. For this thing now, to construct it to make it stay this way, I will use crinoline. Yes, I'll use crinoline mesh, right? Then with a lot of boning. There's this fashion designer I follow online that does this a lot. This kind of Vietnamese designer like that. So something like this with structuring, right? So you can have it this way. Then of course it's asymmetry. Oh, they're flicking their light too. So you have it like that, like asymmetry. So then you structure it properly, structure the boning, just to help it keep the shape. Just structure it very well properly until it stays in this form that you want it. So now you can cover everything entirely with the velvet first as the first layer. We've taken the light here. So you can cover everything, right, with the velvet first as the first layer. But I'm thinking construction now, right? So if you can get, I'm not sure if you're able to get a feather, this long one. If you can get it, good. You can use it to give that drama. If you can get something like that, like this, represent maybe a feather, then you clean up the body, leave the tip. But if you cannot get it, you can, there are a lot of options to achieving something like this. But if I want to make it, I will have the velvet base, and then I'm going to use tool. I'm going to use those very stiff kind of tool, right? That very stiff tool. Pleats, do small pleats on it, not pleats, more like micro pleats, right? But if there are some vendors that sell similar fabric, but I feel doing it by yourself will kind of give the effect. So it will be gathered and covered, pleated over it. It won't be just one layer, but multiple pleats, if you get what I mean. So it's going to come on this to form this effect. I'm just thinking about the design now. And then for this part, it means if I'm using tool for this, I might also use tool for this, right? This part to give that drama. And then, then for this part, I want to make it cage art. For some of you that know cage art, right? So I also use crinoline, but I want it to stay very well. So it has to be very, structured very, very well. So it means for this kind of dress, the hand will be behind. Do you get? So the hand is coming exactly on the side of the bust, right? So you can choose to repeat it on both the back too. So it will be like, in fact, I have an idea, right? I want to make this perfect. So in construction, I think I want to make it this way, right? So in construction, it might be more like a circle, more like a oval shape, right? You have a oval shape, bring out the armhole, right? And then it will be folded, structured and folded. So when we are looking at it in side profile, right? But it's going to be bent also. That's where this the drama comes in now. So we want to keep it bent so that if we are looking at it in side profile, it's bending towards the body like an halter neck, right? Then the hand is here, the other one is now, coming out. So it's more like the hand is sealed in between. Do you get it? Yeah, to really come out nice. So these are our inspo for those that are just joining. So we picked the random picture on Pinterest and we are developing a design from it. So now we're figuring out trying to think about the design of this sleeve parts. I love this. So it's more like the sleeve, the hand is coming out from this place, then it's now folded backwards. So it's how to figure out the structure here, right? But it's doable. Yes. So you can make it with what's it called, to keep it in this form. Depending on how you construct your design, you can probably attach something, since it's halter neck, to keep it at the neck area, right? This is beautiful. So you have it iridescent, you have it here. So I'm just thinking about it now. We can have droplets of the iridescent beads. I wish I had another marker. So we'll keep a clean line for the velvet like this, right? we'll keep a clean line for the velvet like this. So the iridescent effect, right, that we're copying from this beak, so we can just have some of those beads, those, we have it in white beads, so it will be giving pink, giving blue, giving pink. So we just have it dropping right from this. So now we're even going down to the details now. So have it dropping that way. You can even choose to add it also. Our design is so you can choose to have it dropping around the sleeve too. You can have some even dropping way lower. This is nice. So that's one beautiful thing about. So anyway, that season, oh, it's a masterpiece. You just designed the master. See the inspo. Do you get so? Though it takes practice, if you sharpen there are times, many times when I started designing, if you do the design, it will look but it can be frustrating. But one time I just said I was going to do something like this exercise every day, just try to draw something from imagination, draw me design from imagination, and just practice. And before long, it's just like when you are learning. I've learned Ghana weaving at some point. If you are someone here that maybe, for instance, you are like me, that you've learned, try to learn hairdressing or something, you notice that Ghana weaving, until you do it one day it will just set it, you have known it. So there's nothing like you are looking at it, it will keep, trying to frustrate you, but one day, once you know it, you have known it, right? So, wow, kind of, developed this design. It looks really nice. So from this inspo, right? So that's just it. No, this design now has no story. It's just like the kind of design you saw on Met Gala. I said Met Gala, AMVCA, right? I think the theme was around picking one thing and using it in your design. So that's why I saw someone that she had bread, on her dress, has, the whole dress was covered with bread. So that's more like a literal interpretation in design, when you just pick that thing like that and you put it on. In design, when you are doing that, it's just literal, like you just picked it that way and you put it on the dress. So if I'm going to do what I just did now, is I interpreted this design, this to this. If I show you this ordinarily, you cannot tell, where this came from. But if I want to do a literal design, I'm going to pick this the way it is now. All this will now be one motif. I can make a black dress and just put all this on it like that. So in a way, it's more like I will not call it a lazy design, right? Because based on what you are doing, right? Based on what you are. So the creativity in picking a literal design now will be to craft this thing. It's either I use beads to form it, or I print it out, put it on. So design can be, derived even from the same inspiration, right? I can pick this now, put it on my clothes and say this is my inspo. So if you see this and you see that design, you will know that it was gotten from this, right? But if I show you this without showing you this, you cannot know that it's from this inspo. So this is one way of, designing your work. This is one way of, coming up with concepts, right? Coming up with designs for your work. Yes, so we have this. So if I'm going to actually design this now, the problem area number one will be to keep I'll be going off soon. I just wanted to do 1 hour here. So the problem area will be number one, to keep this velvet clean and strong enough to support this structure here, because this will be heavy. I told you we'll make it with crinoline. We'll make it with crinoline and then velvet, and then so it's going to be heavy. So problem area one will be to make this velvet area strong enough and clean to support this structure. Problem area two will be to allow this, to make this structure in such a way that it will hold the shape. It's getting darker here. Let me see if I can put on. Let me put on. Yeah. So the problem area here will be on this aspect now, will be to keep this structure, right? I've tried to explain how we can achieve that, right? So will be to keep this, to keep it in this shape, to keep it standing like this, right? And then attach it to this one and it will stay this way. And the person, though, because that's another reason I've solved the problem by taking it up here, so the wearer will be able to walk easily in this dress. The wearer will be able to walk easily in this dress, because it's assuming it's straight without slit, there will be a problem, but I've angled it here. So even while I was designing this, I already, I'm solving some problems that can arise. So if I had made it straight, it's possible that I will need to lift it up to the side later on. Do you get? So as you are doing the design, be thinking about the solution also. So that's the problem area. The problem area again, another problem area will be this structure. How do we keep it bent, right? How do we keep it bent like this as the alter neck, right? And how do we want to, bring in this iridescent, the what material now can we use? But there's this I can already imagine something, right? All those ruffles that they sell, you see it this way, those ruffle, but it has split on it. The pleat split is almost circular, right? You know the stuff I'm talking about. So I can make this with maybe crinoline mesh. I can make this with crinoline mesh and then put that stuff on it if I want, right? So that's that. Our design is looking nice. So this is the inspo, like I said. This is for teaching purpose. Oh, nobody should go and make my design. It's still my design. Let me sign it. That's Laura 26. I have many designs I have not made. So this is one. I can choose to make this thing though. So if you go and do it, I will drag you. I'm just joking, but this is what we use. So you can also come up with your own design from it. Do you understand? So you can go on Pinterest, search for this. You can come up with your own. This is my own interpretation of this, right? So it's my own interpretation of this. So in designing this dress, let me recap for those that are just joining. Okay, pause. Okay. So let me recap for those that are just joining. The live. So this is the inspo. We picked the random picture of Pinterest from Pinterest, and we'll use it to interpret, to come up with this design. So the first thing we did was to design the form, right? The main body of the dress was inspired from this. We picked it from this part. Then the skirt form, we picked it from this part. Then this eye resembled bra cup, so we used it for the the form for the bra cup area. Then this beak is the sleeve, area, right? So we use it for this sleeve. So, and then we're picking the color as is, right? We're picking the color that way. So we use the same color. So this beak is shiny, it has iridescent, it's not plain color. So that's why we have the iridescent elements here and here. So we'll have droplets of iridescent beads dropping from this right? I will have it dropping on this like this. So we designed the form, then we applied color to it, and then we now designed the material and texture, right? So that's that. We have come to the end of this. I don't know. Let me see. Let me see if I can do. Please like the live. Like the live. Let me see your likes. And then I'll see if I can do another illustration just to, please like the live. Please like the live. Like the live so that. Thank you. Thank you, the perfect girl. Thank you so much. So depending on how fast you practice, right, it will, that's how fast it will. It's easier for me now to come up with this because I've had years of practice. So please, the way you put it might not, when you are doing your own design, it might not like, come out fast. Maybe you can do 3 4 designs and pick one. Do you understand? But what has helped me, like I said, I mentioned earlier that there's a Vietnamese designer that I follow. He does a lot of structure because I have that in my head. I know how this will work, right? I know how this design will work. Do you understand? So immediately I saw it, my mind linked back to that design. I can't pronounce his name. I would have pronounced it. So my mind linked back to his work. I'm like, okay, this can work. This can work. Do you get? So now for the cup area too, I've been sewing for a while, so there's no one. Immediately I saw the eye of this. It kind of resembled a bra cup to me, right? So you need to feed your eyes, feed your your design, skill, like feed that designer in you, yes, so that when you see things, it will be quick to, your mind will be quick to pick it. So let me see if I can do something. Let me see if I can do something more. There's no light, so I'm using my touch. So I might need to go off soon, but I will do a quick, very quick one. So I might not color it, but let me just do one more. Yeah. So let's search. Okay, let me do a screenshot of this because I'm going to keep my sketch. So let's go back. By checking random pictures, random elements. Can see this. This is nice. Should we work with this, or I'm just picking random things online, right? Just picking random things online. Okay. Random images. Now I'm just trying to search for anything that we can draw inspiration from. Let's see. This is just my own board based on what the things I search, right? I like this. So your inspiration can come from anything. Yes, your inspiration can come from anything. So you see this, I like this room divider. It's giving macrame, it's giving crochet, kind of knots. So, excuse me. If I'm going to incorporate this in a dress now, it's just coming on as, quick. So for something like, or let me just, since I will not do the drawing, let me just explain how I will apply this, right? So for something like this, let me see, increase my brightness. So for something like this, I would probably make a base dress. If I'm working with either this or this color for the base dress, right? So the base dress can just be, it's dark already. So the base dress can just be either just maybe a bustier kind of short dress, right? So it can be a short dress on the inside, and then I can choose any of these colors here. I can choose any of these colors here, right, as the inner. Because we're picking this book. Can you see where I went to now? I'm not going to start from a dress, any random picture, anything. So I'll pick any color I want here. Maybe orange, maybe blue, maybe this kind of wine. It's not wine, like burnt orange kind of, right? So any color I pick here will be the base of this, and then I can make a dress, like an actual rope dress, more like crochet knots, something like this, right? And if I want to do this, is either I prepare the rope by myself, right, and weave it together. When you are doing inspo, it does not mean it has to be exact, image like that if you want. So, but I don't want a dress. I don't want it to be straight, So let me see the kind of overdress I want to design. So I think I want to add drama to it. Maybe give it a kind of off-shoulder kind of look. I'll give it that off-shoulder kind of design, right? And then I want it fitted. Maybe one rope will drop it at the middle. Then I will just have it going down like that. I can choose to slit it. Right? I can choose to slit it. Right? And then the entire thing will be this rope kind of design. So for this, you can choose to get maybe someone to do crochet for you. If you can learn macrame knots, macrame, all these things, you learn it. Learn a simple knot, then use it to make it. So on the inside is giving the base color you want, and then on the outside you have this. For me, if I would make this dress, right, let me check the color I have. Orange is not here. I have blue. Let me see. What color can I use here now? Okay. I don't even have my blue marker here. So let me just pick two colors, right? Okay, I have teal here and gold. So let me use teal and gold to illustrate this. So for those that just joined, this is the first design we did from one inspo, and then this is the second one. I'll be going off very, very soon. So let's color we're using two colors, right? I'm not going to design it as a mini dress. So modesty has nothing to do with how will I put it? How exposed the dress has nothing to do with the design at all. The cover I go fine. So I have a short dress in this color on the inside. Wow, the light is back. So I have a short dress on the inside, and then the macrame. But if I'm going to make it, right, I would actually make the ropes by myself with maybe any material that I feel like will give me this, because it's not like I'm going to get rope anywhere, and it looks big. I like the boldness. I like how bold it is, right? In fact, I can form this design with fabric. Yes, I can form it with fabric, right? So I just have, oh, this is this brown. Oh, it's brown. I used the wrong. Okay, gold and purple too works. So let's use purple. So let's see. Eh, this marker. The mouth don't expand. So any random thing can inspire your design, any random image, for those of you that still struggle. But the challenge is, for something like this, it has to be your own design, or except if it's very rare for clients to give you the freedom to just design for them, except if, for instance, depending on the kind of brand that you have built, you know, that we always design, but most times they will have inspo, right, of what they want. So, but there's no harm in experimenting, right? There's no harm in experimenting, doing your design, right? So you have it that way. So you have it. So if I want to add maybe a little something to it, if I want to make this design maybe luxury design, nowadays anything we add beads, stones to is what is called luxury. Forgetting that the process of even trying to make something like this from scratch and make it look clean. Hello, fashion designer in Naija. So the trying to even do something like this, the thought alone self is creative, is luxury already, right? So luxury is in the craftsmanship, like I always say. So for something like this, I can choose to, at every joining, right? This design has wave, it has almost like straight something where the design is attached to. So I can imitate the design here. I can imitate this. Oh, you've missed the yes, you've been inspired with a design. Yes, that's just it. Fashion design is not, you've missed though. We have finished this one. We started it on live. Let me show you the inspo we used for this. Fashion designer in Naija. Let me show you the inspo we used for this. We've not gone too far. It's just we are picking random images on Pinterest and designing from it. So this is the inspo for this dress. So we are just doing a literal design, yes. Then this one, we just also scroll down. Yes, we just scroll down. So the essence is, the way what you will see will be different from what I see, right? Yes. Thank you. So look at this. This is just a random picture, right? And we've come up with a day dress. If I want to make it, what do I search? I just went on my Pinterest, right? And based on the things I've been researching, because I'm an architect, right, into design and all. So I have images of interiors and all that. So anything, you can search anything you want, right? Any random image, because one thing with Pinterest is to introduce new things to you. So we're just doing exercise. Don't stress with it. Yeah, I say I'm thinking of fitted maxi halter neck dress using brown. Yes. So that's just one thing we design. Each and every one of us here, if I start asking you the idea you had with this, I'm sure you can even come up with something, nicer. I can even choose to do a culture dress from this thing. Do you get? So it's based on, yes, you have been wondering how people get it. It can be anything. You saw the AMVCA designs last month. People picked random, see the bread design, even though that one is literal, I don't really like it, right? I don't like literal designs. To me, it's more like a lazy approach, right? I like to interpret designs. Do you get? Yes, you've been wondering, that's TikTok. Oh. Yeah, so you can get inspiration from. I'm just doing this exercise. I'll be coming online every day to kind of do it. I need to go off very, very soon. So I'll be coming online every day to, just do things, put designs together. So people get inspiration from anything. Look at that Vicky James's sponge dress. Look at the lashes dress. So just know that your inspo can come from anything. This, I've not thought of this before. As I just saw it, okay, let me design something from this. Look at this orange. What is this? I want to show you. So this can also inspire a design. Look at this. Can see the glass. So a lot of things can inspire you, but you have to feed yourself with what's it called? Feed yourself with things, because so that as you are thinking about the design, you're also thinking about construction. Then this one thing that I've noticed, right? When people are trying to be creative, we think sometimes it's by putting too much. Your design must still, with the fact that you are making it dramatic, it still must flow together, right? It still must flow together. Do you get? And if it's flowing together, you have to look at it. If we check everything we have done here now, nothing is, the only thing standing out on it, there's really nothing standing out on its own. Let's revise it together, right? You have this shape, this design, right? This angle, we have brought it in with the art. Then we have the two designs that I said I want to use for this. We also have it repeated on the bust area. Do you get? You also have it repeated on the bust area. Then we have the velvet, material. We have it on the bust. You see this dramatic structure, alter neck design, right? We have brought it in here, is repeated here, symmetry, and then the color is coming here, and then we are blending everything up with beaded iridescent. So design must flow together. That's just it. You must make sure that it's looking cohesive. Everything is looking, as one piece. Everything is flowing together. Do you get? And this is like a simple design now we did from this. So even this can inspire you, right? So does not also mean that you have to use the color for something like this. Now, if you, depending on what you are designing, this is like a red carpet avant-garde look, right? You can, for this one, I went for a simple, easy kind of simple dress. If I want to, from this same inspiration, if I want to design an avant-garde dress, I'll be thinking drama. Do you get? So you have to keep exercising. If I want to do something from this, if it's avant-garde, I will make it this big. I might probably have to go and cast resin or something, or go and look for something that will give me this close, inspo, or something that just, it might not be glass, it might be tulle, right? But if it's a simple dress, I might be thinking maybe an abaya with organza in different colors like this, detailed, just to give element. So depending on what you are designing, it will inspire what you do. So we have come to the end. Please, before we go, please like the live. Thank you for joining. If you are not following me, follow me. I promise to keep this consistent, keep it coming. Even me, doing this is helping me, right? To also sharpen my design elements. You're welcome. My design skills is helping me sharpen my design skills, right? I want to be able to think fast, come up with mind-blowing designs, right? Think fast too. So that's just it. So you can pick, if for instance your client wants you to switch up a designs. I on this, I've been coming live, thank you, the Young family, thank you so much. I've been, coming on live to show you sewing videos and all that, but I'm not consistent with it because it's not every day that I sew. I have people that outsource sewing too. So I want something that, we can be consistent on. Oh, nice to meet you. Yeah, so I want to just come online, every day, come up with designs. Yintas Taiwo, nice to meet you. Thank you. So could be coming online every day, right, to do this. Just pick a random picture, image, right? Pick a random. Now that's the thing. This is the challenge. Okay, let's put it. I started 6 p.m. I started 6 p.m. today, 6 to 7. So okay, so my day is always busy sometimes and unpredictable. So, but let me just fix it at 6 to 7, 7 to 8. Let's do 7 to 8 every day. Let's do 7 to 8 every day. I will try, but this is what it will be. Let's just say 7 o'clock every day. This is what it will be. On days that I'm very, very busy, I'll just do a quick design and run off. So I know that I've shown up, right? So, but this, what we're doing is just one aspect of fashion design. It's just one aspect of fashion design. Thank you. So it's just one aspect of fashion design, right? Where you just pick one inspiration. But if you are designing a collection, a full collection, it takes a whole different approach. But this is just an exercise to sharpen our design skills, right? And see what you can work with. So there are a lot of things here. So from there, we'll take it up. What type of Pinterest? It's the same. It's based on the things you research. If you only search for fashion, right? If you only search for fashion items, that's what it will. But you can even browse. If you search anything you want to do, you can click on, say, art, right? You can click on art. Look at. So anything, you can pick anything and draw your inspiration from it. You can pick furniture. You can pick anything that you want. I just want you, I don't want to be doing it alone. I'm sure that if you are consistent with this also on your own, you improve your design skills. So pick any random image, try to design from it. You can maybe send it to me. You can send it to me on, I don't know if I will, maybe at some point, but we're just starting. So maybe at some point we can create a group where we'll just be uploading. It's just to keep us, keep us active, keep the design. So you can send, but for now, you can just send it to me on TikTok. You should be able to share image now, Abi. You can share image on my Instagram, Sha. You can be still Loves by Laura. So if you can't send me a picture on what you did on Instagram, TikTok, you can send it to me on Instagram. So whatever works, just to keep you accountable if you want, if you like, but it's not compulsory. Just do the exercise every day. Yes, do the exercise every day. This thing is already giving me inspo like this. I'm in love with it because I saw a designer do something like this. In fact, on one, I think it's Met Gala look. So draw inspiration, feed your eyes, go and look at Met Gala designs, go and look at, please, when you are looking, be conscious because the whole nudity there, it's too much. So, but go look at, there are a lot of things that can inspire your design. Look at this. So just try to explore, do every day, task yourself to try to be creative, to do a design every day. And then you see how, you can develop And it does not mean from one inspo you can do 2 3 designs. If I say I want to still build up on this from that same image, I can come up with different things. I can choose to use this now for the sleeve, keep the body straight. Do you get it? There's a lot you can do. So just try to brush your design skills, right? At least for now, let's focus on doing this. So from there, we'll know how to move ahead. But there's no point. The main reason you don't call yourself a fashion designer if you cannot design. Because the truth is, there are fashion designers that cannot even sew, and they are fashion designers. Do you get? So tailoring, that you are good in tailoring, is different from fashion design. This is what fashion, this is this thing that is the fashion design, putting the ideas together, bringing the idea to life. So this is the most important skill that everybody has ignored, people have ignored. We keep it to a few people, and then once they bring out these designs, we begin to recreate it, and then they begin to drag us that we're recreating their design, but nobody is showing you how to, right? So that's why I just thought to come up with this, right? There's so much we can do by ourselves. This is the design skill. So if you can push yourself, improve on your sketching, go on YouTube. If you need to buy a course on sketching, on freehand, please do. This is what makes you a designer. We should not be waiting for some. You can even do more than the people that you are waiting for pictures for. You are waiting for them. There are some people, once they drop their design, everybody is recreating the design as if that's the maximum. That we are kind of underrating ourselves, right, by doing that, and then making somebody come out and say they copy my design. Sis, we can do this thing too. We just need somebody to show us the rope, right? So you can join. We'll be doing this every day, and I also want you to practice. If you go off live now, go and do it. Practice your own, right? Go and do your own. Practice it, right? So I'll see you guys tomorrow. So 7 o'clock every day, by the grace of God. If I will not be able to join, I will let you know, but I promise I'm going, since it's just, if I can't do 1 hour, I'll do 30 minutes and go off. So yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Look at this image. Oh, this is so beautiful. So there's a lot. And then once in a while, maybe when I see how far we go, we can just pick one of the designs and bring it to life. We can do it, yes. So we can do that. We just pick one design, bring it to life. You too, you pick one of your design, please bring it to life. It's just to sharpen our skills. Yeah, so that's that. Thank you guys for joining. Yeah, I want to, this is what I mean by iridescent. This kind of shine, look at the way it's shining, 2 colors. This is iridescent. When you see your old those discs, the discs that we work with, right? Those olden days discs, see this, you see the way the back shines. That effect is that iridescent effect. Yes, I love it too. 1 hour ago, I didn't know we can design something like this. So pick a random image, do something with it. So maybe one of the lives, I'm going to show you how you can tweak designs that people, yes, see the plates, yes, see the plates, that back, the way it shines. So that's just it. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining the live. Thank you for the live. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you so much. So bye everybody. So for some of you that asked for training, please reach out. I'll message you. Please just reach out. Yes, I'll reply, and then yeah, bye everybody. I'll follow back. For those of you that are active in the comments, I will follow you back. Thank you so much. Yeah, bye the perfect girl. See you tomorrow.